What is failure? Is it the end of the road or just a stepping stone towards success? Let's delve into this thought-provoking question, a query that has been on the minds of countless individuals throughout history. You see, failure is often painted as a dreadful monster, a terrifying entity that we should avoid at all costs. But is it truly the nemesis we've made it out to be? Or could it be perhaps a misunderstood ally on our journey towards success? Think about it. When we are young, we learn to walk, to talk, to read, and to write by failing countless times, yet we don't give up. We don't stop trying. Each tumble, each stutter, each misspelled word, every grammatical error, they all lead us to improve, to grow, to evolve. That's the power of failure. It's a teacher, a guide, a constant reminder that there's always room for improvement. In fact, it's not the failure itself that breaks us. It's the fear of failure, the fear of ridicule, the fear of judgment that often holds us back. And as we grow older, this fear becomes more pronounced, more debilitating. But what if we could change our perspective? What if we could see failure not as an ending, but as a beginning, an opportunity to learn, to grow, to strive for something better? Now that's not to say that failure isn't painful. It is. It's a bitter pill to swallow, a harsh reality check, but it's also a catalyst for change, a trigger for growth. It pushes us out of our comfort zones, forces us to confront our weaknesses, and compels us to strive for better. So let's embrace failure. Let's learn from it, grow from it, and use it as fuel to drive us forward. After all, failure is not a permanent state. It's merely a momentary setback, a stepping stone on the path towards success. No matter how many times you fall, it's the getting up that defines you. Ever heard of a man who failed 1,000 times before he succeeded? Let's talk about Thomas Edison. Born in 1847, Thomas Alva Edison was an American inventor and businessman who was described as America's greatest inventor. He developed many devices in fields such as electric power generation, mass communication, sound recording, and motion pictures. But the one invention that stands out, that has illuminated our world, is the practical electric light bulb. The journey to this invention, however, was not an easy one. It was a path marked with countless failures, relentless experiments, and a never-give-up attitude. Edison once stated that he conducted over 1,000 unsuccessful attempts before he could make the light bulb work. 1,000 times he tried, and 1,000 times he failed. But did he give up? No. He looked at those failures not as an end, but as stepping stones towards his ultimate goal. In the face of adversity, he didn't lose hope. He didn't surrender to failure. Instead, he used each failure as motivation to keep trying, to keep experimenting, to keep pushing the boundaries of what was possible. His journey was not just about inventing the light bulb, it was about the power of perseverance, the significance of determination, and the belief in one's abilities. It was about understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, but a part of it. Edison's story teaches us that it's okay to fail, as long as we learn from it and keep trying. It teaches us that success is not a straight path, but a winding road filled with setbacks and challenges. It teaches us that the key to success is not in avoiding failures, but in not letting those failures deter us from our goals. And so, even after all the failed attempts, the struggles and the disappointments, Edison managed to invent the practical electric light bulb, an invention that changed the world. Edison once said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." From living on state benefits to becoming a multi-millionaire author, this is the story of J.K. Rowling. Joanne Rowling, better known by her pen name J.K. Rowling, is a prime example of someone who turned her life around through sheer determination and unwavering faith in herself. But the path to success wasn't always smooth. In fact, it was fraught with hardship, rejection, and failure. In the early 90s, Rowling found herself as a single mother, struggling to make ends meet. She was jobless, penniless, and living off state benefits. But it was during this period of adversity that the seeds of the Harry Potter series were sown. The idea came to her on a delayed train from Manchester to London, and she began to pen her thoughts on napkins because she couldn't afford a notebook. However, the journey from idea to published book was not a straight line. Rowling faced numerous rejections from publishers. Her manuscript was pushed aside, deemed too long for children. Some even advised her to get a day job, as there was no money in children's books. But Rowling was undeterred. She believed in her story and its potential. She was fueled by the love for her characters and the world she had created. Through persistence and resilience, Rowling eventually found a publisher willing to take a chance on her story. And the rest, as they say, is history. The Harry Potter series has since sold over 450 million copies worldwide, has been translated into 80 languages, and has spawned a multi-billion-dollar film franchise. Rowling's journey is a testament to the power of self-belief and perseverance. It's a reminder that rejection is not the end of the road, but rather a stepping stone towards success. It's a story that tells us that sometimes our biggest failures can lead to our greatest achievements. Rowling once mentioned, "It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default." From failed business to becoming one of the most influential presidents of the United States, meet Abraham Lincoln. In the heartland of America, a young man named Abraham Lincoln began a journey. A journey that was marked by more failures than successes, but one that would lead him to become the 16th president of the United States. The early years of Lincoln's life were filled with hardship. He was born into poverty, and his family was constantly on the move in search of better opportunities. His education was limited, and he struggled to make ends meet. But Lincoln was not deterred. He was determined to rise above his circumstances and make a name for himself. His first attempt at business, a general store in New Salem, Illinois, ended in bankruptcy. Despite this setback, he didn't give up. He dusted himself off and decided to pursue a career in law and politics. His political career was not smooth sailing either. He lost his first bid for a seat in the Illinois state legislature and several more elections after that. But Lincoln's spirit was unbreakable. His resilience in the face of failure was admirable. He once said, "I walk slowly, but I never walk backward." After years of persistence, Lincoln won the presidency in 1860. His tenure was marked by the Civil War, a tumultuous period in American history. Yet, through it all, Lincoln stood tall. He navigated the nation through the war, abolished slavery, and changed the course of American history forever. The story of Abraham Lincoln is a testament to the power of resilience and determination. It's a story that teaches us that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone to success. It's a story that encourages us to keep going, to keep trying, even when the odds are stacked against us. So the next time you face a setback, remember the journey of Abraham Lincoln. Remember his resilience, remember his determination, and remember his words, "Success is not the measure of a man, but the measure of his ability to overcome adversity." Lincoln once said, "My great concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with your failure." So, what can we learn from these stories? We've journeyed through the lives of some of the world's most influential figures, all of whom have one thing in common. They've embraced failure. Not just accepted it, but embraced it. They've understood that failure is not a dead end, but a detour on the road to success. Think about it. What is failure, really? It's an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to improve. It's a teacher, albeit a stern one, that pushes us to our limits and tests our resolve. It's a mirror that reflects our strengths and weaknesses, giving us a clearer image of who we are and what we can achieve. It's a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Every misstep, every setback, every disappointment is a lesson learned, a step closer towards our goal. It's a challenge that dares us to try harder, to push further, to reach higher. And it's a motivator. Nothing fuels the fire of determination like the sting of failure. It's a reminder that we are human, that we are not perfect, but that we can always strive for improvement. It's a call to action, a push towards perseverance, a nudge towards never giving up. So let's change our perspective. Let's stop seeing failure as a foe and start seeing it as a friend that challenges us, that pushes us, that motivates us. A friend that teaches us the value of resilience, the power of persistence, and the importance of never losing hope. In conclusion, let's embrace failure. Let's learn from it, grow from it, and use it as a stepping stone towards success. Let's turn our setbacks into comebacks, our disappointments into determination, our failures into fuel. Because at the end of the day, the road to success is paved with failures. It's not about how many times we fall, but how many times we get back up. It's about learning from our mistakes, improving from our failures, and never giving up on our dreams. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it.